Welcome back to another episode of Another Pokémon Podcast. My name is Becs.
And my name is Galutrad.
And today we are going to be talking about all the swaggerific swag of Pokemon.
Woo! Swag it up!
Even after Pokemon Mania ended.
Which Pokemon Mania lasted a long
forever.
time.
And there was tons of swag and tons of things that we recall from our childhood that we may not have anymore, which we're definitely going to dive into. There is still tons of Pokemon merch out there.
Oh, mountains upon volcanoes upon mountains of Pokemon swag.
Upon mountains.
Pokemon is
Cinnabar
the,
Islands of
No, for real. Pokemon is the largest IP in the world.
Is it bigger than Disney?
Well, so that's kind of the weird part about it, is that Pokemon is considered like a single IP, while Disney technically has like a bunch of different IPs.
Okay. Like
there's
princesses
Marvel and Disney princesses. Yeah. So I think if you combined everything that Disney owned, I'm sure they probably make, but I'm pretty sure that for a long time now, Pokemon has been the largest IP in the world, the most financially successful.
I just know, like, as far as like recognizable mascots, Pikachu is like top 5.
Yeah, so to put an exact number on what we're kind of talking about here, what we've been beating around the bush for with this is that Pokemon is the highest grossing media franchise in the entire world, and it's not close.
Oh.
So Pokemon has made an estimated $88 billion.
Oh my gosh.
The only thing close to it, which is in the category of 50 billion plus, is Mickey Mouse and Friends, Disney.
Okay.
Pokemon has made 88 billion. What do you think Mickey Mouse and Friends has made?
60 billion.
You're close.
Okay.
52.2 billion. So Pokemon has a $36 billion difference in their media franchises.
I would whistle if I could. I'd be like, whew.
And honestly, the gaming section of it isn't even it's barely relevant.
Is merch the biggest
licensed
section?
Merch has made $80.8 billion for Pokemon Company.
I'm not surprised.
The swag is real.
I'm a little intimidated to keep this podcast going. That's a hefty sum.
It is a
Pokemon.
hefty sum.
That's crazy to think about. I feel like we picked a good theme then, because we're about to dive into a whole bunch of merch. But before we do, Galutrad.
Yeah.
How you feeling, bud?
I'm feeling pretty good. I've still got a cough from being sick with COVID. However, I can tell that it's starting to go away, which is nice. It's still there, but it has been much less frequent than it normally is.
Right. Yep.
I have been playing a lot of 9 Parchments with people at work. Mm-hmm. I have also, we started playing 9 Parchments because of the fact that we beat a game called Heave Ho, which is very goofy. Like, all you do is you control the left and your right hand.
I didn't know you could beat Heave Ho.
Yeah, you can. You can beat Heave Ho. But you control your left and your right hand, and you're this little like blob with arms, and you just try and, as a group, swing through this level and collect the coin. And it was a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun playing it, but we've been doing that during our lunch breaks and stuff. Yeah. And then I've also been trying to get back into reading. I've been reading a book about flow in anything that you do. It's often talked about in gaming, but just anything. There's in a lot of creative aspects, you enter a flow state. So I've been learning a lot about that, which has been really cool.
Awesome. That's really great.
Yeah, but what about you, Bex? What have you been up to?
Same old. I've been still trucking along with Tears of the Kingdom, trying to get through a lot of the more collectible type things, like trying to light up my depths map.
Yeah.
Get all the underground root light thingies. Reading for sure. Catching up on some other podcasts, listening to audiobooks, just the usual. Usual trucking. But before we get started, just want to jump into some listener feedback. We've been getting quite a bit of listener feedback already, which is really cool.
Yeah, we really appreciate it. Love hearing from y'all.
This comment comes from X from Writer's Flood.
Based off of the context of the comment, I think it was in regards to our Pokemon Stadium episode, because we were asking people what their favorite Pokemon spin-off games were.
Okay, yeah. Well, Writer's Flood says, really need to get back to it as it's been years, but the Mystery Dungeon remake was great.
You played a little bit of the Super Mystery Dungeon on the Switch, right? Didn't you? Or demo?
I played the demo.
Yeah.
I have never played a Mystery Dungeon game.
I haven't either.
Like fully.
Yeah.
Couldn't really get into a good flow with it on the demo. And at the time, I couldn't really afford to get the full game.
Yeah.
Didn't want to commit to it if I didn't know I liked it. But I think it's something we should try out now that we're doing the podcast. Thank you, Writer's Fly. That's awesome. Like I said, we'll have to check those out. Also on Apple Podcasts, we got another 5-star review.
Yay!
Which is exciting. From K Goodwin 83, it says, "My son and I love the show so much. We discovered you through AZP from listening, writing, and podcasting. We love Pokemon a bunch. We have lots of cards. We play Go Fish with them. Oh, that's cute. Lots of stuffed animals, and we have started playing some of the games. We love listening to the podcast. Keep up the good work. Our favorite Pokemon are Meryl and Bidoof." I love that. Can't wait for the next episode. This made me smile so much. I love that they play Go Fish with Pokemon cards.
Yeah.
I now want to play Go Fish with Pokemon cards.
Yeah. K Goodwin, I'm not sure what age your son is, but it sounds like probably young enough that has fun with the pictures and stuff on the cards, but doesn't quite fully understand how to play Pokemon. So the fact that y'all are using it to play Go Fish is adorable.
Hey. You know what? Me either. I also don't know how to play the rules
the TCG.
Of Pokemon.
Yeah.
I used to collect them because they were pretty.
A lot of people do. Yeah.
I think that was so precious. That made me really happy. Thank you so much, K Goodwin.
Yeah. We also got another comment on spin-off Pokemon games from Aaron Domingos over on X. He said, "Does Super Smash Bros. Count? I think it's probably Pokemon Ranger." Super Smash Bros. I think does count. I kind of count it because I used to, especially in like Melee, would set all the items off except for Pokeball and set item drop to really high and have like pretend Pokemon matches.
Cute.
But Pokemon Ranger.
Fun fact for everyone listening, Aaron actually
that's right.
did the art for this episode.
Yeah, professional photographer.
And he does some really fun content
on TikTok. You should definitely go anywhere on social media. I believe he's always same username, Aaron Domingos, and definitely check out his TikTok content. He's doing a lot of cool stuff with Pokemon lately.
He just has such a cool collection of Pokemon stuff. Has some really great things I've never seen before that he brings to light in his content.
Yeah, when I was thinking about the artwork for this episode, he immediately popped out. I mean, we've got some cool stuff, but the stuff that he has is just like so different and out there, and a lot of it is old. A lot of it is stuff that he's had for a long time.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, thank you so much, Aaron, and also for doing the artwork for this episode. Another comment on X by 9D Novix. This was about, I was asking what people, so one of the swag pieces that I have is a couple different graded Pokemon cards. One of them is a golden Snorlax. I posted that on X and he responded with, "I love the art on that Snorlax. He'll always hold a special place in my heart since I beat the Hoenn League on Ruby with a level 70 when I was 9.
Oh, wow.
And to answer, pulled this from a random tin yesterday with a tongue out emoji. Yeah, the thing that he pulled was a Charizard EX that was terastallized. It's super pretty. So to pull that from, that's the dream, is to pull that type of card from a random tin.
Yeah.
You always want to like, if you're in like a grocery store and they have them at the checkout lines and you see them, you're always like, if I buy that, will it be the Charizard? Will it be the rare card? And it never is. But for 90 Novix, it was. So yeah.
I think I was trying to think about, because I wasn't a major Pokemon card collector. I did really like them. I think the only holographics I had I had a holographic Machamp, and then I had like a holographic Venusaur.
Oh, that was cool. Really cool. Venusaurs. I never got any of the holographic like Charizard, Venusaur, Blastoise. I did also have a Machamp, and I think I had a Hitmonlee, but I don't remember for sure.
Yeah.
So
very cool.
But yeah, thank you so much for that listener feedback. Like we said, we've actually got a lot more. I think next episode we probably will up the amount of listener feedback that we read, just because we have so much of it and we appreciate it. Keep it coming out.
Oh, please.
Yeah. Keep the podcast reviews coming.
Don't
that helps us out a lot.
Don't make me beg for listener feedback. It won't be cute.
We love the community that we're building and we love y'all. So thanks.
Yeah. Thank you. Before we dive into the show, I have a present for you.
What?
A little present.
A little present.
It's in honor of this episode. Actually I brought two things today. Okay. So a little show and tell, behind the scenes, podcast, studio life. So the first thing I brought is not a present for you. Sorry. The first thing I brought is a present for
that's
us, kind of.
Yeah.
My coworker, Paige, who did play Pokemon when she was a kid, but hasn't really like kept up with it, but like was enthralled by our episode 0. Like
really?
loved listening to it. Felt very nostalgic. Complimented your voice specifically, which you do have a very nice voice.
Thank you very much.
When people say we have a nice voice, I'm like, are you listening to the same person I'm listening to? But anyway, a lot of complimentary stuff. Got very excited. Saw this at a Five Below, I believe, and was like, okay, I know this is dumb, but I had to get it for you guys.
Okay.
So I brought a Pokemon watch.
Pokemon watch?
It's our newest swag.
Oh my goodness.
And what's really fun about this is I didn't set the time on it yet. But it's like a kid's watch, but it's an actual watch. So it tells time. There's a stopwatch, an alarm, and the most exciting part is you can make it light up.
Whoa. So yeah, it's for listeners, it looks like the face is a Pokeball, and it has some pretty nice metal on the side. It looks like it's got plastic. A red, plastic looking metal or metal looking plastic. It's got a red band, and it's a digital watch. So a digital number on the bottom half of the Pokeball. But that was so sweet of her to just think of picking something up for us. That's so cool. We've mentioned this on the previous episode, but like the support that we've gotten from listeners, from y'all, from just random people on the internet, from AZP fans who've migrated over, from other fans of other Sixfive Media shows such as Studio Demands It. That's been really cool, but it's also been really cool to get support from friends and family that don't even know anything about Pokemon or haven't been into Pokemon for a long time, but they just are showing their love and support for us. So that's super neat.
Exactly.
Yeah, this is so cute.
Part two
of
Show and Tell is, drum roll, Graham Snacks.
Pokemon Graham Snacks.
So
Graham Cracker Snacks.
We'll talk about what the categories we're going to dive into is in just a second. But as I was doing my grocery shopping, I was like, just perusing the aisle. I think I grabbed some like Triscuits or something, like in the cracker aisle. And I looked over and I saw this little cute squished chewing Pikachu face. I was like, what are you?
Oh my goodness.
And I grabbed it because it's a snack that we, when we were chatting about all the different swag we're going to talk about, it's one I'd never seen before.
I've never had.
So I thought we could try and let the listeners know if they should go buy Pokemon Graham Snacks.
Absolutely. So
where is his face?
Immediately to begin, they kind of smell a little funky, but what do they taste like? Oh, and they've got cute little Pikachu faces on them.
Unless they melt off like the one I just had. They have Squirtle, Charmander, Pikachu, Pokeball.
Oh, I see that now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very cute.
So they've got a couple different little face on them. They taste pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
They're not as sweet as Teddy Grahams, I would say.
No, they're not.
Which I actually prefer. I think these are much better than Teddy Grahams. Yeah. Because I don't like super sweet.
Yeah. No, sorry. I misunderstood you there because I thought you were saying that you prefer Teddy Grahams, and I was going to say that's unusual for you because you don't usually like super sweet stuff.
No, these are a very subtle sweet.
They are. They just smell a little funky.
Yeah, they smell a little odd. But I would say if you don't like super sweet like cookies, but you want like a hint of sweetness like a graham cracker, I would say these are pretty good. They're a solid little snack.
They are a solid little snack. That was really sweet of you.
Yeah. Sometimes I'm sweet.
Thank you so much, Bex.
Just a fun little celebration of what we're
swag
doing.
Episode.
Yeah. So speaking of swag, how this episode will flow is we have categories that we've narrowed this massive variety of swag into. Mm-hmm. And each one of these categories is going to have a list of the different things that we feel kind of fall into that category. Disclaimer that we chose the categories and we picked which things fell into them. So if you don't agree, it's fine. It's just how we decided to organize.
Yeah.
What we'll do after we've gone through the various merch that we're going to talk about is kind of recap what our favorites are, like the things that we own that or that we would like to own, that we just love. So we'll we'll recap that list of things. And then just before we get started, just a couple things to note. One of the rules that we set for this podcast is that we're not going to talk about any of the mainline media. So we're not going to talk about the video games. We're not going to talk about the Pokemon movies or the show, VHS or anything. We're not going to talk about the Pokemon cards because we feel like we're going to cover those items throughout the history or throughout all eternity of this podcast.
Yeah, it's kind of inevitable. It's the main ways that people interact with, well, not financially apparently, as we learned.
This is what they interact with financially.
It is the ways that a lot of people know Pokemon through or get to start with Pokemon.
Right.
So we'll talk about them all throughout the rest of the entirety of the show.
And then last, of course, but not least, the last disclaimer we have is that if there's an item that exists in the world, someone has slapped a Pokemon on it. So there's probably going to be some things that we've missed, or maybe even, because this is a family-friendly podcast, some things that we don't care to talk about.
Yeah.
So just note that, like, if you're like, well, I have this thing, like, save that for listener feedback. Tell us about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we're probably not going to cover everything. I think if we did, we would be here for the rest of our lives because there's so much.
Yeah, for $80 billion worth of time.
Yeah. So categories that we have narrowed it into are collectibles and decor, toys and stuffed animals, games, but not the video games.
Stuff like electronic games.
Right, or board games, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Clothes and accessories. And then event freebies is going to be like a little deep dive into some things that we have found or been given or collected over the years at different events.
Yeah.
And then we just have an other category because there's some things that just don't fit in with any of those. So, Galutrad, why don't you kick us off? Why don't you talk about collectibles and decor?
Sure, I would love to. So, one of the things that I think a lot of people collect, and weirdly, I feel like I remember it taking a long time for Pokemon to jump in on this group of figures, are actually the pop vinyls.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so the pop vinyls, they're super cool. I've got several of them. We've collected several of them, just kind of that we pick up throughout our shopping trips whenever we visit stores.
I'm staring at 4 right now.
Well, there's actually more than that. You just have to look up a little bit. So we've got like Bulbasaur, the starter trio from Gen 1, Bulbasaur, Squirtle, Charmander. There's Lapras, Mewtwo, Cubone. There's actually 104 unique figures. I didn't actually count up how many unique Pokemon have been turned into a pop vinyl, mostly because in my research, it was kind of hard to actually track that information down. Pop themselves didn't seem to have the full list because they only really had what was available to buy on their site. And then different lists online mentioned and left out different things.
There's not like a wiki list out there?
I looked for one
wow.
and I couldn't find it.
Someone that is dedicated, make a list for
us.
I
even found a couple different YouTube videos of people talking about like, I own most of the Pokemon Pops, but I don't own them all. And here are the ones. And even they listed off or forgot some of the other ones that I had found. And like, when I say found, not just mention of, but like actual pictures of, and like some, because there were some that showed up at like, they were exclusive to San Diego Comic-Con, and so they were only sold at that event, and a very limited run was made.
And different retail stores have different exclusives too.
Exactly.
There's like Walmart exclusives and Target exclusives.
Yeah. A couple things of note with that is that Pikachu obviously has the most variants of different pop types or styles, poses at 15 variants of the 104 are dedicated solely to Pikachu. The original starter trio each received a silver, metallic, and pearlescent variant, I believe, and also a flocked variant.
What's a flocked variant?
A flocked variant is like kind of a fuzzy looking pop. It's almost like it's a pop. It's almost like a pop that has like suede Vans. It's almost like that.
Oh, wow.
It's very interesting. I didn't even know that was a thing in pops. I happened to have the pearlescent Mewtwo because I jumped on it as soon as it popped up in the Pokemon Center. Yeah. Pokemon Center. There are Pokemon Centers in Japan, but there's also a Pokemon Center online shop that you can buy stuff from.
It's a dangerous place.
It's a dangerous place and stuff moves quick. You got to be ready for it. So I made sure to pre-order that as soon as I saw it because I love Mewtwo. I think he's so cool. But all the other pop figures that we've got are just regular. I did want to give a little shout out to our real life friends, Shelby and Cody, because I had noted to Becca several times, because I think we kind of have this conversation a bunch, because we do have pops kind of floating around.
Yeah, I've got several of mine just at work because I'm like, where do I display these?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we don't really have a full list of the ones that we own. And so sometimes we'll be out and I'll see one. I'll be like, I don't think we have that one. And you'll be like, oh, we do. Or you'll say this, it'll be vice versa. But I knew for sure I didn't have a Raichu, and they snagged me one while they were at a convention.
An anime convention in Atlanta. Yeah.
So very much thank you to them for that. He sits proudly on my desk now.
And they've given us we have customized pops.
We do have customized pops
of
us. Yeah.
Yeah, holding different props. We're both holding a gaming controller, and then I think I have a wand and you have a tennis racket.
I do. I have a tennis racket because I like to play tennis.
Those are also at work because I'm ridiculous. We've got a ton, like in the same line as the pop figures, we have a ton of vinyl figurines.
We do have a ton of vinyl figurines.
A ton of them. I think you have the entire Pikachu. What's the one that's on your entertainment center?
That's right. Yeah. So on my entertainment center, we've got Pikachu Moods collection, which was every couple of months, I think a few years ago, they would release a new mood, and they always get commented on anytime anyone comes over.
There's a ton of mystery boxes.
Yeah.
With just beautiful themes, like garden themes and ocean themes and dream themes. And then you've got the terrarium ones. Like you've got your Pikmin terrarium over there. Like there's just so much. Like there's such a crazy variety of different figurines that you can get for sure.
Absolutely. And then there's also Evolution, kind of like they're all these little statue figures of vinyl figures of evolutions, of all the different evolutions that are playing, and when you put them all together they make like a landscape that they're all playing on, and like there's like a waterfall that kind of flows throughout each of them that ends up ending at Vaporeon. There's a spot for Umbreon, Jolteon, all of them.
Yep.
And they look so cool when they're all combined together, but we did also manage to get all of those locked down.
Totally.
There's also calendars and advent calendars.
I am so excited for us to do the Christmas advent calendar together. So when we first started seeing each other, we were long distance,
really long distance,
hundreds of miles, states apart. So we have a Christmas advent calendar that we have yet to do.
That's
together.
Right.
That has, and I don't know how quality the figures are, but like I love a good mystery box surprise.
Absolutely.
So it's got in every single one of the 25 days of Christmas, there's a little figurine in there. And then I know last year your calendar, like your wall calendar, was Pokemon in it, and it was the Pokemon calendar, right?
It was the official. And then I've also had a couple times I've had a desk calendar that had daily Pokemon facts about it, which were always super cool. There's also a kind of a blast from the past, because we were talking about the graham crackers that we shared at the start. Back in the day, there were Pop-Tart figurines that you would get with a box of Pop-Tarts.
Oh, yes, there were. And we had a ton of them.
Because Pop-Tarts were great, and they still are, honestly. Pokemon did a partnership with Pop-Tarts, I believe 3 times.
Oh, okay.
They had a wild cherry flavor, and that was featuring Generation 1 Pokemon on the box. It had Pikachu, Charmander, and Poliwrath, weirdly enough. Generation 2 Pokemon Pop-Tarts featured a Pichu, an Entei, and a Totodile.
Oh, wow.
And they were the Pokeberry flavored, which I thought was pretty cool. But yeah, you would get these little figurines, and they weren't like anything super special. They were plastic figurines that you would get in a box of kids' food. They also, I would argue, the coup de grace of 90s and early 2000s Pokemon merch, the Burger King gold-plated cards.
Yes. That is one of my favorite things that they've ever done. And I don't think we're alone based on the research that I was doing. It seems like those
people want
cards
the gold
were well
cards
loved.
back. Yeah. On these gold cards, you could get 6 different Pokemon. There was Pikachu, Jigglypuff, Togepi, Charizard, Mewtwo, and Poliwhirl.
Yeah, and I had Poliwhirl.
I actually have 3 of them. I believe I have Togepi, Pikachu, and Mewtwo.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I guess we have 4 of them together. But these things are super cool. They're gold plated. They came in a large plastic Pokeball that opens up and has like a nice display spot for them.
They came with like a protective
sleeve.
So you don't get fingerprints on them.
And I don't think I have this anymore for mine, but they also came with a certificate of authenticity.
I have
for
mine.
Yeah, I don't think
mine
I
is
have
mine is official.
Yours is super official. They're very cool. A full unopened set of them sells for like I think $2,000 or something online.
Yeah.
Really, really sick. These things are heavy.
Yeah,
they're dense.
Well made.
They're very, very cool.
Yep.
There was also Gachapon and Gumball machine figurines.
Yeah, and we have several of those because if we see a Gachapon machine and we see that it's Pokemon, we normally succumb.
We normally do, yeah.
So we've done like I have a little Eevee that has a little paintbrush.
Yeah.
At work, we have squishy starters from Sword and Shield. So we have a squishy Scorbunny.
One of my favorites, the Ditto Pikachu. It's like a Pikachu that's actually a Ditto, and it's kind of like in between becoming a Pikachu and being a Ditto. The bottom half of it is flat and gooey like the Ditto, and then the top half is molding into the Pikachu.
Well, we were very excited about that because it was not on the picture for it.
Yeah.
So we ended up getting, which this is kind of a fun fact, especially for like stuffed animals when we get into that. One of the fun things to look for when you see like a bunch of Pokemon stuffed animals or Pokemon toys is the ones that were made with Ditto faces that kind of blend in with the other ones. And there, for every like official Pokemon stuffed animal that they make, there's a Ditto version.
Yeah, we learned this from an employee who works not at a Pokemon Center, but at a kind of like it's a Pokemon store in the US that just sells Pokemon stuff. They work directly with Pokemon to get their stuff. And yeah, they were telling us that whoever runs the Pokemon merch for stuffed plushies likes to, in every run, throw in Ditto versions just randomly. And so sometimes you'll have a box of these Pokemon plush. Sometimes there'll just be a Ditto version there.
Right.
Which is really cool.
I feel like we've seen a couple of them that are pretty cool, and I'd like to like get a few of like the ones that we really like and get the Ditto versions. I think that would be fun.
I think it would too. There's also Christmas and Hallmark ornaments.
Which, by the way,
indeed.
For those of you that don't know, I used to work at a Hallmark. They are finally on board with Pokemon. They've got the Pokemon a Pokemon ornament for you. And then there's just in general, there's Pokemon ornaments from the Pokemon Center, right? From Walmart, I'm sure. Hallmark also has a collectible tiny plush that you can collect. Like I envision it like how people collected Beanie Babies back in the day, called Itty Bitties.
Yeah.
And there are several Pokemon Itty Bitties. So there's Pikachu, there's Meowth, and then this is kind of random, but there's 2 sets. The first set's not random. It's the Johto, or it's the Kanto starters.
Okay.
The second set, though, apparently, I don't have this set, is Piplup, Munchlax, and Pachirisu.
That is a very strange set.
Very weird. Like they're all blue. But yeah, they've got that too.
There's also, of course, there's neon light signs and plaques. There's wall and desk artwork that you can get.
Which we have quite a bit. Yeah, we have quite a bit of wall art. And then you've got your, I don't know who bought it for you. Someone must really love you and know you like Raichu. But you have your neon Raichu.
Thank you very much for that. Pokemon did a destinations art thing for all the different regions up to Galar. I really want them to release one for Paldea so I can continue to have a set, but I haven't seen them release one. I might have missed it, to be honest, because again, stuff on the Pokemon Center, it comes and it goes. I mean, if you're not there within like the first hour, there's a good chance it's sold out by the time you get to it. So it's very possible that I just missed it, but I've got those to hang up. We also as we set up at the top, there's a ton of fan art all over, just beautiful works of art that people have made.
Pokemon Center, the shop releases like different holiday things too, like seasonal opportunities, like for the different seasons and stuff like that.
Halloween and Christmas are obviously like a massive
big ones,
one.
yeah.
They do Valentine's Day. They even do, like, for any parents that might be listening, they do graduation stuff around the time of graduation. So yeah, they really do any sort of event that you could want. And then finally, under the collectibles and decor, there are actually something that I think are really cool, which are bookends. So these bookends include Nidorino and Gengar. It sounds like a weird combination, but if you've played the original Red and Blue and Yellow games, that's in the intro scene where they're fighting each other. There's also a great one of Ho-Oh and Lugia, which I'd love to get.
Even though Lugia has fingers.
Has hands and fingers, and it's weird. Don't bring it up. And then also a really cute one. So on one end is a Snorlax who's like kind of leaning over to go to sleep. And then on the other end is Timber and Pikachu and Togepi. And they're all holding up Timber's plank to try and
Timber?
Yes. To try and keep Snorlax from flopping over.
Oh
on
my
them.
Gosh.
It's super adorable.
That is super cute. I think I would like the Nidorino and Gengar one the most though, just because I'm sorry for saying this on a Pokemon podcast, but I'm tired of Pikachu, man.
I am too.
Everywhere.
It's mostly because I love Raichu, so it's like really hard to find.
No, I'm just tired of Pikachu. And honestly, Eevee's getting a little out of control.
But yeah, the Nidorino and Gengar one is super cool. It
so
looks like they're
nostalgic.
like in, you know how in like fight scenes there's always like dust that kicks up. It looks like they're both in it.
I love it.
And it's just it really screams to the nostalgia. The Ho-Oh and Lugia one though,
Is it pretty cool? Is it pretty snazzy?
It's pretty fire. Ho-Oh literally. Lugia is in like a whirlpool, so it's pretty sick as well.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
I mean, if you read, they're a great way to like show your fandom.
It kind of reminds me, and it would have fit in well with this section too. You just found a blanket that you want. It's the famous Under the Wave off Kanagawa wave art.
Yes.
But instead of it just being like the wave itself, it has Gyarados coming up with the wave and Magikarp.
And a bunch of Magikarp flopping around in front of it. Yeah, it's super cool.
I've always loved takes on the Kanagawa art. Like I have one like that, but also Starry Night themed.
Yeah,
that's like an art. I also have one that was Sailor Neptune themed.
Oh. Very cool.
It's like a little postcard thing. Yeah. So yeah, I think it's always cool when people take like classic art and they make it like a fandom.
It is always really cool when people take very classical art pieces and then modify them or change them to fit with some sort of modern style or modern culture piece.
Yep. It's very much like I take it as an appreciation of what came before.
Yeah.
And just kind of switching it up. So diving right on into my favorite merch of all time, which is something I have way too much of, stuffed animals. Speaking of lines of products that have taken the world by storm, Squishmallows.
One of the most amazing, I think, overnight successes.
I feel like it was overnight. I was working retail when I started to notice them popping up more. And man, the people that collect all of them, Godspeed. I have most Pokemon ones, some Hello Kitty ones, a very few normal ones. I've got like my Space Cat one and my like Big Bunny Rabbit.
Yeah.
People that collect all of them.
I think there's like thousands.
Scare me.
Yeah.
How? But anyway, so wave 1 of Squishmallow Pokemon releases was Pikachu and Gengar, which I have Pikachu and Gengar that are normal sized.
It'd probably be quicker to say which ones you don't have.
Yeah. Wave 2 was Togepi and Snorlax, which we have Togepi. Wave 3 was Wingy Pikachu and Piplup, which we have Piplup. Wave 4 is Teddiursa and Clefairy. We've got both of those. We have a giant, the biggest Teddiursa in the whole world. And then I'm spoiled rotten, so I got Meryl and Dragonite because I literally could not choose.
Yeah, and at this point, because of
you might as well.
You've gotten both of them except for Snorlax.
Yeah.
It's now just become a thing for me that I have to get them both for you when they launch.
Anyway, Dragonite is probably my favorite one. Well, I love Clefairy too, but Dragonite's probably my favorite one though because he's already derpy. Mm-hmm. He looks so derpy.
He's got little wings.
He has little wings. Anyway,
so cute.
Go Go collect them all. Go collect all the Squishmallows.
Go squish them all.
And this is not a Squishmallow, but I also have this giant Jigglypuff that my friend Kelly got me for my birthday from Target, and it is literally like it's huge.
Yeah.
And I have a big Togepi too that's also pretty big. Yeah. Do we maybe want to take a quick break?
Yeah, I think so. Okay. Yeah, we'll take a break and we'll come back.
It's a long episode.
It's a long episode, but there's $88 billion in revenue for Pokemon.
That's true. Yeah, there's a lot of love and a lot of stuff there.
Yeah. So we'll take a quick break and then come back, talk more Pokemon. And we're back. So next
How did we get back?
I hope y'all enjoyed those ads from Sixfive Media. Next up is...
I think this is one you added, so I'd like for you to speak to it. There's a 20-year anniversary plush.
Yeah, so during the 20-year anniversary of Pokemon released a special version of the mythical Pokemon, which there's a difference between legendary and mythical Pokemon. So for instance, legendary is Mewtwo, Articuno, Zapdos, Moltres, and Mew is the mythical Pokemon from Generation 1. Celebi is the mythical Pokemon from Generation 2. Jirachi is the mythical Pokemon from Generation 3. During the 20th anniversary, every single month, Pokemon, I believe it was a partnership with GameStop. I think you had to go to GameStop to get them, but Pokemon released these very cool, they were in like these, you know how sometimes plushies will be in like a kind of, not a plastic, but it's like that moldable plastic. It's kind of squishy to the touch, but it's still very much a plasticky thing.
I know what you're talking about.
But in like a little box of that had like artwork around it, and they'd be sitting in there, and they were very high quality as well, super high quality. And along with the plush, you would also at GameStop get a code for that Pokemon in your Pokemon game at the time.
That is precious.
Yeah, it was super cool.
I love that.
They were really, really cool. I'd love to get my hands on them, all of them again eventually, but they are expensive now because they were a limited time thing. But I just thought it was really cool, like a cool way to celebrate the 20th anniversary.
No, that is really cool. And that also reminds me, sorry, I'm going to segue a couple times probably because there's just so much stuff. The World Championship was in London in 2022, and our good friend Chris got me a Pikachu from the World Championship with his little cute, I think it was Galar themed suit.
Yeah, it was like the London Guard.
Yeah.
Thing.
That's, of course it was the Yeoman Guard.
Yes. Which this isn't on our list, but it is something that I just thought of because you mentioned that, is that they do also, annoyingly it's with Pikachu, but they do also do a very cute set of like Pikachu around the world where he'll like have different little outfits like Chef Pikachu or Lederhosen Pikachu. So they do, that's a neat little way for them to celebrate.
I know I said I was tired of Pikachu, but they really do also just have like a ton of cute Pikachu, like different ways of making Pikachu stuffed animals too. Like one of my favorite ones that I have is Pikachu dressed as a Charizard.
Yes, yeah.
He's got a little Charizard hat on and stuff. So like they do get creative with it. I'm just tired of seeing that little yellow mouse everywhere. So moving on to the next one, we have Build-A-Bear, which has done a huge, consistent, constant collaboration with Pokemon. I only have Pikachu. I don't know how I only have Pikachu because my girl Espeon has definitely been at Build-A-Bear for a long time, and I don't have her, and I don't know why. I just haven't gone because she has little PJs. She's pajam jams.
It's pretty cute.
It is really cute. They have, I just pulled up the website just to take a quick perusal. They have a ton of Build-A-Bear Pokemon stuffed animals, accessories, outfits. They've got like right on the front page, they've got Fuecoco, Dragonite, Bidoof, which everyone's obsession with Bidoof cracks me up. Munchlax, Flareon, Squirtle, Grookey, just endless collaboration with Build-A-Bear, which I think is so cool because it really like Build-A-Bear is like a lot of kids have fond memories of building a friend at Build-A-Bear for a birthday or maybe just like a special event, like maybe they graduated like kindergarten or something.
Yeah.
And they get to like name their baby, which I was very uncreative and I named my Pikachu Pika. But you can nickname your Pokemon, give them a heart.
Yeah.
I don't know if they do like the cries or if they just do like recorded voice.
They probably offer the cries as an option.
Something like that. Yeah. They come with like, I think they come with like little books with it sometimes. They've got outfits for each and every single one of them that's specific to that Pokemon. Just so much fun. And I just shout out to Build-A-Bear for really taking it home with that.
For sure.
Okay, now we're gonna move into some of the weird
of the
weird stuff.
Because again, Pokemon is on anything and everything. If you can think of an item, there's a Pokemon version of it for sure.
Do you remember Mighty Beans? Little beans.
Yep.
They look like
and they would always like stand up the right side.
I think so. Yeah. There were Pokemon versions of those that looked very unique.
Yeah.
I remember seeing them like next to like the Tech Decks and like the Hot Wheels and like that kind of section of like Walmart and the toys. I put this in toys and stuffed animals because it kind of, the way in which it was made,
I think it
was a stuffed animal.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't like I'm going to say this word and everyone's going to be like, what is she talking about? I will make it make sense. Loofahs and sponges.
Yeah.
So I have a concrete memory of Christmas morning opening up my stocking, and in my stocking I had a Clefairy loofah.
Yeah.
It literally looked like a Clefairy stuffed animal, but it was made of this porous like Nerf water gun ball material.
And it would I remember these.
And it was a bath thing.
Yeah.
Steven had Psyduck and Scott had Bulbasaur.
Yeah.
And I remember that was part of our Christmas.
Yeah.
When Steven would have been like 2 or 3. So I would have been like 10. So Scott would have been in between our ages. So it was just such a core memory, and it was like I loved that thing.
I didn't have a loofah. I did have Pokemon finger puppets that
you told me about that. Yeah.
I had the full, my parents used to love going to like auctions and anything where there would be deals to be had, right? And I remember my mom won in this auction for a fairly decent amount, I believe, the full set of 151 of these little Pokemon finger puppets, and I would take them into the bath with me as my like bath time toys, and I would like act out little like adventures and stuff with them. Super duper. They were finger puppets, right? Like they didn't have any action involved. Like they literally just would sit on my fingers and I would pretend like they were doing stuff.
So were they like squishy like rubber duck?
They were like squishy like rubber duck.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know why when you said that to me, I was picturing just like a felt.
No. Yeah.
I was like, why would you bring that in the bathtub?
They all of them were any Pokemon that its feet they were all positioned in a way that they would be like kind of sitting down almost, depending on how they were. There's like a Kabutops or Kabuto, the part where your finger would go is like the back side of his shell, and so like the bottom half of him was cut off, and you would see like the main parts of him, like his little claw arms.
Yeah.
Mew, I distinctly remember, would be sitting like flat with its feet out.
Cute.
And it would just have a hole in the bottom of it, much like your loofah. Those were my bath time toys.
That's so funny that we both had Pokemon ones. The other random blast from the past that I found that like I totally forgot about until this podcast research was the Pokemon Rev Tops from Burger King.
Yeah.
That very much look like Pokemon Beyblade.
Yeah.
Like type of things. They're spinning tops, and the one that I distinctly remember looking at it is Pikachu and Clefairy. Clefairy because she looks like she's been through a lot, and Pikachu because it's a top, they like, I guess they didn't want him, he wouldn't be very aerodynamic if his little ears were sticking up.
Yeah.
So they like squished him back.
Well, Pikachu was kind of a
like
chonk.
Wink like this. Like,
yeah.
So it looked like they hair gelled his ears down.
Yeah.
Well, I watched someone battle with them, and Diglett won each time.
Really?
Diglett is the most aerodynamic Rev Top.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
He's basically just a
he just
stump.
is. He just exists.
Yeah.
And then you had mentioned, I dropped it in here, you had mentioned bouncy balls.
Yeah. So I had...
Which I do kind of remember.
I had a bunch of like clear bouncy balls that in the center of them were different Pokemon. And I'm sure they probably had all 151, but I remember specifically having Pikachu and Articuno and Zapdos. And, as kids do, I think I lost Pikachu and Articuno at some point, or maybe I like left them somewhere at school or something. But Zapdos, I very distinctly remember I really just wanted the figure in the ball. So I took a knife, a kitchen knife, and started just sawing away at this rubber bouncy ball, only to find out. So in the ball, it was a pretty big sized bouncy ball. Maybe like if you were to think about like 4 quarters lapped over each other at their quarter. So like it was a pretty decent. That's a weird explanation, I know.
That was bizarre.
Yeah.
Do you just mean they're about an inch big? Is that all you meant?
Maybe like an inch and a half.
Okay. 4 quarters lapped over quarters.
I don't know where that came from, but they were pretty big. And so the figurines in them looked pretty big. And I was like, oh, dude, this is going to be so cool. What I didn't realize is that material actually magnetizes what's in it.
Warps it, too.
It warps it. And I cut down, and this thing was like itty bitty little Zapdos. And I just remember getting to it and just being like, what? My mind was blown because I had no idea that was happening in the bouncy ball. It didn't make any sense to me. And it was crazy. But I have a very distinct memory of me destroying this bouncy ball insane. To try and get the Zapdos inside. Listen, when it comes to toys in my childhood, my family has a great chuckle about the fact that for whatever reason, I used to bite the heads and tails of my plastic dinosaurs off.
Oh my God.
So I don't know. I was a destructive kid.
Scott chewed random toys up
too. It wasn't I mean, it was just that. It was just the plastic dinosaurs, like the ones that you would win at like a Mr. Gaddy's.
You were ready to make Jurassic Park 4.
Yeah. I was raring to go.
They also, if you want like to build Pokemon, but in a more realistic fashion, they have models of Pokemon.
They do model kits
that they're putting out. I made you Mew.
You did.
She's so cute. Very lightweight. Looks good, and they've got Rowlet and Piplup and all kinds of different Pokemon. I'm sure they have Pikachu that you can build. Bandai makes it.
Oh, yeah. They're
Bandai
quality. Yeah, they're very cool.
I'm cracking up. They've got like floppy Magikarp, but then they also have like Rayquaza. it's just funny what they have.
Which is I think part of the charm of Pokemon is that there's again, every Pokemon, somebody out there loves that Pokemon. That is their favorite Pokemon, no matter what it is. There's over 1,000 now. So somebody loves that Pokemon, and so it's cool to see. It's cool to see the merch for weirder Pokemon out there.
Greninja's kind of cool though. They have a Greninja. They also have Ho-Oh. I don't like Ho-Oh.
I like Ho-Oh.
I know you do. So moving on to the next thing. This is a pretty wide topic, but I'll touch on like just general things that I've seen and that we own and stuff like that. So books and manga, infinite amount of books, particularly I'm sure for kids. I know that they had like the little episode by episode chapter books when I was a kid. They definitely have picture books. We have bought our nephew Jackson the baby books. There's the beautiful manga, and then also like new manga coming out all the time. So like when I was at the used bookstore the other day, that's local to where we live, I picked up a copy of the first Black and White 2 volume. There's tons of books, tons of manga.
And then there's also stuff like, it's not completely Pokemon related, but the Time magazine issues that had the Pokemon on the covers.
We do have those. We have coloring books.
We have coloring books.
Activity books.
Yeah, activity books. Again, $88 billion industry.
Lots of reading.
Books and manga and plenty to read out there.
And then like flower pots and planters. Yeah. I've seen like Oddish and Bulbasaur flower pots.
Yeah.
Where they have like little succulents or something in there planted. Maybe they're fake. I don't know. And then I have my friend Allie from work. She got me an irrigator that's Chikorita.
Yeah.
And you put a little leaf in it. It's super cute.
Your favorite grass type Pokemon.
Yeah, my tiny baby. Why don't you kick us off with games, not video games?
Yeah, absolutely. Games, not video games. Kind of the idea here is like board games, electronic games that aren't actual video games. So stuff like Pokemon Yahtzee, which I know you have a lot of great memories of as a kid.
I did. I'm actually going to pull up a picture so I can kind of describe it to everybody. But yeah, it was really, really cute little dark blue handheld that had, instead of having, like in Yahtzee, you know, they have the numbers. Instead of having the numbers, you had to have like a certain amount of Squirtle, Pikachu, Gengar, Clefairy, and Geodude. That may have been it. So random.
Yeah.
But so many memories. So much fun.
Yeah. Not really Pokemon related, but Yahtzee related. The first time that I'd ever played Yahtzee was with you and your grandma and mom and uncle.
That was the first time?
That was the first time that I'd ever played Yahtzee, and I had no idea what I was doing the whole time.
I thought we've played with your parents.
We've never
before.
played. No, my parents, my mom, my family plays 42, which is a dominoes game.
Oh, I don't know how to play dominoes.
Yeah, so I know dominoes. You know Yahtzee. It was fun though. It was a lot of fun. The best Pokemon board game of all time, and I really wish that they would
remake it
or re-release it and maybe update it a little bit. But Pokemon Master Trainer board game,
absolutely honestly one of the most difficult board games for sure.
This was like, if you were a Pokemon fan and you had this, you were set.
Yep.
You were rolling.
Well, how cool is it? Like one of the things I remember being like, oh, when I started playing was the amount of starters you could choose from.
Yeah. It was, if I remember correctly, there was Bulbasaur, Charmander, Squirtle, Pikachu, Meowth, Clefairy.
Yeah. Was Eevee one?
Eevee, I think maybe. And for some reason, I'm thinking Psyduck. But this game, the whole point was you'd travel kind of around a map of Kanto. And as you landed on spaces, you would flip over these, like, if you know what Pogs are, but these little discs that have Pokemon on them. And on one side they'd have different ball types to showcase different rarities or difficulty levels, and you could travel around the world. You would work towards building up a team and hopefully evolving your Pokemon, and it would be like, maybe this was like a house rules thing, or maybe this was just me being a kid and not understanding the rules with my friends, but like we would get into situations where Nick beat the Charmeleon and I have Charmander as my starter, so Charmeleon's gone now, so I can't get it anymore. So like you would have to like figure out how to switch your team around, and essentially you would work your way towards the end of the game where you would take on the Elite Four for a chance to capture Mewtwo, I believe, who was always at the very end.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember. I know my brothers are both younger than me, and so I think they lost patience.
Yeah, board games are hard for kids.
I don't even know that we ever like actually finished the game. Like I think we like ended up making up like our own rules so they could play it. But I remember I played it like by the rules with, I think I told you in like episode 0, I played with my Beanie Babies when I was at my mom's.
Well, yeah, and I remember playing a lot by myself, by what I understood as the rules.
Right. But no, I'd love to play it as an adult. I can't remember if I still have my Pokemon Master Trainer or if I just have my Pokemon Monopoly.
Oh, I hope you do, because I would love to play that game.
I'm worried I don't.
Well, that's something that like we definitely are gonna find.
We need to look for. Yeah, totally. Yep.
But speaking of Pokemon Monopoly, that's another great board game.
Oh yeah. And I had a lot of like soap operas going on with my toys. So,
yeah.
And so, you know, the little Pop-Tart figurines of Pokemon, I took the Monopoly Pokemon.
Okay.
The little characters you can choose from, because you can choose, they're like little squishy versions, like Mewtwo and Charmander and all that. I took them and they were the babies.
Aw, that's cute.
For my Pop-Tart Pokemon.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very cute. 21 Questions, the Pokeball version.
Yeah, did you have that? I played it at a friend's house, but I didn't have it.
I've never had it either. However, I played with it in Target one time.
Oh yeah.
I chose Raichu and it got it wrong. I tricked it. I answered every question that it asked me correctly.
It thought it was Pikachu, right?
It thought it was Sandshrew or Sandslash. Weird. And I don't know why. It never asked me if it was ground or electric type or rock. I think Sandslash is ground and rock. I'm not actually. It might just be ground. But it never asked me about those. But it asked me like things about color color, whether or not it has a tail. And yeah, it ended up on Sandslash.
And it's like Pokeball shaped, right?
Yeah, it's Pokeball shaped. And
I had a normal. Did you have the normal 21 questions, like a little red spherical one?
No.
I had that one, and we had a lot of fun, like playing it on road trips in the car.
Yeah.
Not the Pokemon one. I would love, again, with like we were saying, if we don't have Master Trainers, we need to get one. I would love to find one though.
Yeah.
Which I guess maybe they might even still be at Target.
Yeah, I think they're very much still made. They're probably not like the same as, well, yeah, I guess they wouldn't be because they've been updated with newer Pokemon.
Right.
Yeah, 21 questions, a super fun game to play if you're a Pokemon fan. They're not that expensive of a toy, as if I remember it, because they're pretty basic as far as what they do.
$20 maybe,
yeah.
25. Yeah.
And so like it's fun. It's the type of thing that's fun to just be like, if you're sitting around at your desk, turn it on and be like, all right, let's go. And then finally under games, this is kind of where we threw it as far as categories go, but activity books and coloring books.
Yeah.
You know, classic kid, classic merch item.
Me.
Classic you. Yeah.
I have so many coloring books.
Really good for road trips, or just if you need some time to kill.
Well, I have that
Yeah.
Pokemon coloring book.
And I was gonna say is I know that we're not like focusing on a whole bunch of fan made stuff, but I've noticed recently that coloring books or activity books are a pretty big deal on like Etsy. And I mean, we have a Zelda themed coloring book
that was artist made.
So yeah, I'm sure there's plenty
and
of
I have
cool ones.
I think I have the Animal Crossing
version,
one of that same.
Yep.
I cannot believe I left this off because I have so many of them, and I even think I mentioned it that they're on my notebook. I loved stickers. As a kid, I collected stickers. I had like a sticker book that I put my stickers in. And I had a very cool Pokemon sticker book that had activities in it, but it also had like half of it was stickers and half of it was activities. And you could use the stickers to kind of like in the more decorative activities, like build your Pokemon team here.
Yeah.
Like you could use the stickers for that. But I think I ended up just drawing the Pokemon where I wanted them, but then collecting the stickers on my sticker book. All of them. And I let my brother have like 2, I think. Just stickers should have been somewhere up at the beginning, probably. Like there's so many stickers of varying Pokemon art.
Yeah, it's like we've kind of been the theme of this whole episode is that Pokemon is the biggest grossing media franchise, $80 billion on merch alone. And so there's anything and everything that you can think of has probably got a Pokemon version of it somewhere. Speaking of which, if you want to go take on the next category, which is
clothes and accessories. Yeah. So kicking it off with hats, I have an Espeon and a Snorlax that look almost like the ears and the head.
Yeah.
I have hats that are those that people have got me over the years.
Yep.
But I also have, I think I used to have like a ball cap that just had a Charmander on it.
Yeah.
It has since been, it was demolished. But.
Yeah. My head is far too big for ball caps, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's a problem.
It's a massive problem for me.
If you ever send Galutrad merch or presents, don't send him a hat.
Yeah. And admittedly, so I've throughout the years I've gotten a couple of them. Like I have a Kirby one that I just I appreciate the gesture from like friends and family, and so I just decorate with them kind of. But they will not fit on my head.
I appreciate the gesture too because then I get a free hat.
Yeah, that's true.
But I don't know if anybody remembers for a while on TikTok, probably circa 2019, people had the bunny hats where they had like paws that hung down kind of at hand level, and you could squeeze the paws, and they had air pumps in them, and they made the little bunny ears move, and you could do like little dances and stuff with it. As a 2019 TikTok connoisseur, I was like, yes, I want one of those. And they came out with Stitch and Pikachu ones.
Yeah.
And so of course I bought Pikachu
Absolutely.
immediately, and I still love that. I wore it for like Halloween one year because I was like, I don't have a costume, but I need to do something for these kids that are going to come get candy from me.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to be, I just, I like to have fun. And so I put the little Pikachu hat on, and I would answer the door and be like, hi. And
very
like,
cute.
I like your Pikachu hat. I'm like, thank you. But yeah, no, he's still really cute. He makes me happy. I did have to fix him. I don't know if I ever told you this. One of the air pumps stopped working.
I didn't know that.
It came disconnected. I had to do an operation on Pikachu's
and it was
ears.
Successful?
It was, yeah.
Nice.
Tons of socks, definitely. I have 2 sets that are Pokemon. One is different starter Pokemon with ice cream cones.
Interesting.
Pastel color.
Yeah.
Very cute. And then the other one I think is just pretty basic. I think it's the Evolutions on socks.
Yeah.
Anytime you go to a GameStop, a Hot Topic, a box lunch, there's Pokemon socks. Even Walmart,
Target,
and Target,
Walmart.
Yeah.
Probably your grocery store if they sell clothing.
Shirts and hoodies. I think that explains itself. But I know one of my favorite that I have, I've got two of them. One is got Pikachu on it from the Nashville Symphony Pokemon concert. Yeah. One of the greatest experiences ever. I shout out to Ganya, who's like a mom to me for taking me with her son and her husband and going with me that time. I had the shirt from that. And then you got me a shining Espeon, Espeon shirt.
Yeah. And I'm also a really big fan of, I believe, the Pokemon Worlds competitive competition. Competitive competition? What?
Chris has one.
Yeah, they do really cool jerseys, and I think those are so neat. I had a Gengar hoodie that I loved.
Oh, I remember your Gengar
but
one.
it had gotten really tattered and
Didn't you? Am I making this up? Didn't you have a Decidueye hoodie?
Not Decidueye.
I had a Delibird.
I had a Noctowl.
Noctowl.
It was based off of Detective Pikachu. They had their coffee shops had a Noctowl logo in that movie, and I loved that one. But it actually got one of the sleeves got ripped off it got caught in some machinery at a place that I used to work at.
Yeah. Scary.
Yeah, and so I'd cut the other one off and turned it into like a sleeveless hoodie, and I think I still have it. Yeah. I just don't wear it because I don't look that good in a sleeveless hoodie, honestly. But I really love the design on the back. If I ever can, I'd like to get another one. A neon sign of that Noctowl logo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because that's what it is in the Detective Pikachu movie.
Phone cases. Pop sockets, rings. One of my favorite stories is
I was gonna bring it up.
The Jigglypuff. Yeah. So Jigglypuff saved my life, and that's a little dramatic to say.
Saved your phone.
Saved my phone's life. So I was on the phone, and I am one of those people where if I have my AirPods in, good luck to my phone and where it is if I'm on the phone, because I get very easily distracted. I set things down. My grandmother said if my head was not attached, I would lose that too.
Yep.
And she's right. So one day I was on the phone with Galutrad. I was getting gas and I had put my phone on top of my car, got in my car, drove away, could hear him getting fuzzy, could hear the connection kind of getting fuzzy, and went, what? Happened to look up and all of a sudden see my phone sliding down my back windshield, and angry Jigglypuff, who was my eye ring at the time, we made eye contact, staring me in the face, and I was like, oh no. And it got caught on my back windshield wiper. And so I was able to pull over safely and go out and get it. But I made direct eye contact with her, and I was like, Jigglypuff.
No. She grabbed on for dear life. She was like, you're not leaving me behind.
Right. And because of that, I will probably always have a Pokemon on my phone.
Yeah.
Of some kind.
Absolutely.
She saved me. Back to kind of clothing for a second, something you are really into.
Yeah.
The Kigurumis.
Yeah. I was actually just before we started recording, I was thinking, if we ever do like what AZP does, where we have live or recorded video versions of the show.
Patreon.
For Patreon, we should wear Kigurumis for the show.
And what will you explain what a Kigurumi is?
So a Kigurumi is a kind of, think like a onesie, like a very large onesie that buttons up the middle, and they're usually animals, very cute. And you have
they're not feeties.
They're not feeties. Yeah, they've got cuffed feet and cuffed hands. Well, some of them have cuffed hands. A lot of them have paws as gloves for the hands, but they're not really paws. They're more just like, it's like you could do that if you wanted to be like cute, because it's very like cute.
If you wanted to wear it more like a costume.
Yeah, it's very like cutesy costume, but it's basically pajamas.
Yeah.
And it has a little hood, and the hood always has they like I said, they're designed to look like animals, so naturally that led into Pokemon versions of Kigurumis.
And they have so many.
I'm sure they have an Espeon and a Raichu.
The one I've seen probably the most frequent, like in like Barnes and Noble or GameStop or whatever, is like Snorlax and Charizard.
is a very common one.
Eevee.
An Eevee.
Yeah.
Yep.
And there's Pikachu, of course, and like a ton of other ones. And and you have an otter one.
I do, and I usually wear it for Galutrad related stuff. I've stopped for a little while just because it's been so hot, but I am excited to get. I was thinking about that recently as well. I was like, I'm really excited to get back into like all of my Galutrad related stuff, doing it in that Kigurumi, because it's like kind of the brand, because it's an otter, and Galutrad is an otter knight.
Yeah, and along that vein, that I'm pretty sure, I cannot confirm this off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure they also have Pokemon Snuggies.
Probably.
They probably do.
Yeah.
Makeup. So I know there are other Pokemon makeup collabs, but obviously one of the most recent ones that comes to mind is the ColourPop collab.
Yeah.
Super excited when I found it. Finally, it was back in stock and I could get it. So it's very cool. I think probably the lip balm that comes with it, which is like in a Pokeball shaped container, and then like the pH balance lip balms are the coolest thing just from looking at it so far. The only thing that really I'm not sure I would use in my normal day-to-day is some of the blush, just because it's red and purple blush. And
but for like
maybe
we'll if see. You're going to a fun party or
well, if it's super pigmented, maybe not. But if it's like gentle, maybe. It's just very shockingly purple and red.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited to dive into that. And I know there's others. I know for sure I've seen like Pokemon skincare stuff where they've collabed and done like masks.
Masks I think would be a huge thing.
Yeah, but that kind of sums it up for clothes and accessories. Why don't we kind of tag team this next section, because I'm sure we've both been to different events. I can start with the 20th anniversary stuff, and I think you probably worked at GameStop at the time, right?
Yeah.
We went to GameStop and we went to Best Buy. It was Ganya, my boss mom is what I call her, and we got like just cute stuff, like cute little stickers and like a little visor with a Pikachu on it that said 20th anniversary.
Yeah.
A couple posters. Got to talk with a bunch of Pokemon fans about like what Pokemon they loved and their journey and that kind of thing. And none of it was like, wow, this is something I will keep for my grandchildren or anything. But it was cute.
It was just fun little freebies stuff to get away. Yeah. They often will give away promo card for the anniversaries. Another thing that they'll often give away for anniversaries or just do giveaways for Pokemon events are posters, which is another thing that we've been together and received while we were shopping at different game stores and things like that. Like I think we have a poster of like the original 151 that they did for a celebration of re-releasing that set for the TCG. The GameStop that we went to was hosting an event hosted by one of the Nintendo brand ambassadors, which are people that work for Nintendo that help out the retail stores. And we got little patches of Fuecoco, Sprigatito, and Quaxley.
And stickers.
But yeah, they constantly give out freebies all the time.
I think I got, this may have been the 20th anniversary or it may have been for the midnight release of like Sun and Moon or something, but I remember getting like a lanyard.
Oh, yeah. That's another great freebie.
But yeah, just different little free swag. And then Happy Meal toys. I mean, I feel like that's happened a lot, and no matter how old I am, I will go get a Happy Meal.
We do.
Yep.
Other than freebies, we've gone through several categories now of just listing off merch that we've experienced in our lives.
I give people free tattoos at at a Comic-Con. I was Jigglypuff, so I wrote on people with Sharpie.
Oh.
I was 18. It was a different time.
I thought you were saying that you actually gave people tattoos.
I gave them lifelong memories. But yeah, and then we just have
another category, just like stuff that, again, this is all just like stuff that we've seen through the years and collected and
that we didn't think
you might
anywhere.
Find cool to represent you in your fandom, but like stuff like school supplies with notebooks, pencils, things like that.
So many, especially when we were kids.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I mean, I'm sure
it's still now.
Is.
I'm sure. Yeah, I doubt it. I mean, obviously, it hasn't died down at all. There's also dishes, glasses, ramen bowls.
Yeah, which one of my favorite glasses that I have is one that is an Evolution glass, and we see the ramen bowls all the time, and I'm like, every time I see it, I'm like, I need them, but I don't want to pay for just a ramen bowl that's like $30.
Yep, and then
really cool.
There's even like Pokemon slow cookers out there.
You just sent me. Isn't someone collabing and doing like an official dishes set for Pokemon?
There is currently an official collaboration going on where they're really cool looking. Like it's not just like, again, all of this merch ranges anywhere from stock photo of Pokemon slapped onto something and then like actual creativity put into the design. And this is like, they are really ramping up to get super creative with these dishes and
because
sets.
it's more what you as an adult that may want them would want. Like it's like very minimalistic. And
there's a difference between like, I have plastic cups that have Pokemon on them. And,
which I do.
Yes, which we do. And having like actual like really dishware that happens to represent Pokemon in some way.
Right.
So super cool there. You're going to have to go
Cord
off
buddies?
of this one. Yeah,
okay.
Cord Buddies.
So I am actually looking at her right now. I have Espeon hanging out on my laptop charger. She's sleeping and she just kind of holds the charger.
Yeah.
And I know I've got like a Vulpix one at work, but they just kind of hang out and you make it easier to like grab your cord.
And I think in a society where like everyone's walking around with their, possibly with their cables or if you're especially at work, you have a whole bunch of cords around you at any given time.
Yeah, it keeps it from falling down below your desk and stuff. Yeah.
And then you've got like game system cases and controllers.
I'm looking at you, Target. They have the cutest. The run, don't walk to Target to get these cute Evolution pastel colored Pokemon cases. And I'm like, Target, I don't need 5 cases.
Yeah.
I don't even really need 5 controllers.
Yeah.
Wild is what it is.
It really is.
Yeah.
You can always find a cute Pokemon themed controller if you want.
So cute. Oh my gosh.
And then there's stuff like fidget spinners.
I have the coolest Pokemon fidget spinner.
Yeah.
It's a Pokeball.
Okay.
It's very pleasing.
Yeah. I don't know. Fidget spinners, I've seen one of Sonic the Hedgehog that is Sonic running.
Oh, that's cute.
That I think is the coolest fidget spinner out there, but I think there could be a cute Pokemon one for sure.
You haven't fidgeted with my fidget spinner yet. That would change your life.
Yeah.
I should have brought it.
Then,
it's very pleasing.
You have a Jigglypuff speaker.
I love her.
That you use.
She holds a charge like no other.
Yeah, it's okay for a speaker.
Yeah, if you're looking for like high quality studio sound, don't get Jigglypuff. She ain't gonna help you.
If you're looking to be able to listen to music while you're taking a shower or something.
And you want Jigglypuff to sing to you.
Yep.
Which is always my goal. Get you one. And last but not least, I found apparently from the 90s, they made Pokemon perfume.
What, like
cologne?
to Jinx?
I don't know what the inspiration for the scent itself was. It literally looks like a little potion or something with like a Pokemon on it.
Sure does.
I was like, I don't remember there ever being a Pokemon one, but apparently there is. And I really can't, I can't tell if this is kid-centered, if this is adult centered during Pokemania. Like, I don't know, but like, isn't that weird?
That is very strange. I could see like nowadays with all of the Pokemon that exist, they could do, which I mean, you know what? No, I'm changing my mind on this because we had mentioned in episode 0 or no, I'm sorry. In episode 1 of Favorite Gym Leaders, you had talked about getting Gloom perfume.
Well, not even Gloom perfume. Erica's perfume.
Erica's
like
perfume.
Her flower perfume.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's not Gloom scented. But no, like, yeah, like I think that would be if I was talented in that way, great marketing idea is, I'm a small business owner on Etsy. I make perfume. I make Erica's perfume. What I imagine it would smell like.
Yeah.
Fresh cut flowers. I mean, that pretty much wraps up swag for Pokemon.
There's so much of it. Again, I cannot stress it enough. Largest media franchise in the entire world. Mm-hmm. You can always find awesome, unique ways to celebrate your Pokemon fandom through swag. And if you've got something, y'all lovely listeners, that you would like to share with us or maybe send us pictures of your swag, you can find us on social media platforms such as X and Instagram at Another PKMN Pod, and we would love to hear and see items that you find cool or that you've collected over the years. I love seeing people's collections of different Pokemon stuff. Maybe there's a specific Pokemon that you like to collect, or maybe you only like to collect a certain type of Pokemon merch, or just what you like.
Yeah, we'd love to hear about it, and or if there's any even if it's something that you don't own anymore, if there's something that you remember as a kid, help us get out of the mandala effect that has been this research.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I'm like, oh no, I remember that being a thing. And then I look, I'm like, I can't find it anywhere. It doesn't exist. It's not real. So yeah, if there's anything that you remember really enjoying as a kid or something that you still enjoy, definitely give us a shout out and share with us what that is. Galutrad, where can everybody, if they want to just tell you and they don't want me to know about their swag, where can they find you on the internet?
Yeah, you can find me everywhere on the internet at Galutrad. That's Galutrad. I stream on Twitch and then anywhere else social. If you just Google Galutrad, you'll find me. I also have a website, so check it out.
And you can find me anywhere on the internet at Rebelody. That's REBELODY, except for Instagram, where I am forevermore I_am_Rebelody.
Indeed. And of course, you can find us at Another Pokémon Podcast.com or anywhere on socials at Another PKMN Pod.
Actually, if you do go check out my my Instagram, you'll see that we just got our first fan art.
We did.
My profile picture. Thank you, Jay, for making that beautiful fan art of us. I think I look better with my flannery hair, but it's fine.
Yeah, no, shout out Janae Thomas for that fan art. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Well, thanks everybody, and we will see you next time.
Get out. Bye.
Get out. Bye.
Sixfive Media.